Okay, so here we have, just thought to show you the different sort of lengths that these air rifles come in, to give you some sort of perspective over their varying sizes. So the bottom rifle is the Edgun R5M, the Matador. That's a lovely rifle. That's the standard length R5M. They do it in a longer version and they also have the same action with a really short barrel and short cylinder in a slightly different style stock that's called a Layla, which is a really short rifle. The one above it is my Anschutz 9015 hunting, but now wearing the new bench rest stock that I got the other day for it. Really sleek, very nice rifle. And then the one above that is my Feinwerk Bow 800 FT field target. I've took the hamster off it because I've got a T-rail bar Picatinny fitting coming in the next day or so. So I'm going to try it with my Anschutz bipod on it, shooting it off the bench and shooting out in the field with that as well. So I've took the hamster off for now, ready to fit that little adapter on so I can put my Anschutz bipod on. But as you can see, the lengths vary a lot really, and I actually think the Anschutz now is longer than my slightly about the same length actually as the Steyr Hunting 5 Auto that I've got as well. And aren't they three beautiful rifles? They really are. All fitted with IOR scopes. I've got the IOR breaker on the R5M. I've got a, I can't remember what the call now, it's a Terminator I think it is on the Anschutz. And I've got the Old Faithful, my Recon on the Feinwerk Bow. Really big fan of IOR scopes. They're brilliant things. They're heavy, they're a bit bulky, but they're fantastic bits of kit. Really nice. So there you go, my three of my favourite rifles, all with slightly varying usages. Obviously the Matador is my one of my favourite hunting rifles. That and my Hunting 5 Auto, my Steyr. They're my two favourite hunting rifles. Then I've got my Anschutz kitted out with a bench rest stock on it. I've also got a Warren Edwards stock for this as well, which you will have seen if you've seen it in my other videos. That's in a yellow laminate. And then my field target rifle, my field target and HFT rifle, my Feinwerk Bow. And now as I've got that fitted up with the Recon on it and finally got it set up to how I like it, really good. I've got to admit, these two are superlatively accurate. Don't get me wrong, this thing's as accurate as anything. This is a 22 caliber, really accurate as well. But it's accurate in a sort of field gun way, whereas these two are laser accurate. You know, 40 yards, these are literally putting pellet through pellet virtually. If I was a better shot, they would undoubtedly be able to put pellet literally through the same hole. They're incredibly well engineered, superbly accurate bits of kit. Really are fantastically well made. And this thing's a monster of ruggedness and is also incredibly accurate. It's very good. For a 2.2 field rifle, it's really good. These modern air rifles are really reaching a bit of a pinnacle now. They're so good. Really are. This thing's unbelievably adjustable. It's just ridiculous. I've had a few questions about this, about the framework barrel, as well, asking about the POI shift. That apparently when these things first came out, when they were first modified from the target shooting rifles, which were about 6 foot-pounds, there were some problems with POI shift apparently on the ones that were modified up to nearer 12. And I've got to say that I've had this a bit, and I've done a fair bit of range shooting with it. I've done a bit out in the field with it as well, and I've not noticed any POI shooting, POI shifting, to be honest. If I set it up, it's normally set up at about 35 yards, and every time I go to the range, if I use the same pellets, as long as the wind's the same or roughly the same, it's pretty much bang on where I set it. So I've not seen any POI shift myself. I was told that a thing to avoid with these is they're meant for 200 bar, and apparently if you overfill them or push it right up to the 200 bar top end of the fill, that was what was causing the early ones to have a point of impact shift. But I tend to always go a little bit below. I've got my own air tank, so it's no real problem filling them. So I never really push my rifles to the maximum. So if it says that their maximum capacity is a 200 bar fill, normally I'll only fill them to 190 or even 180 bar anyway. And then if I run out of air, I can always recharge them. It's a simple matter to do so. It's the same with the Anschutz. That's a 200 bar fill, but I never take it to 200 bar. I only take it up to about 180, 190. Whereas the R5M can cope with 300 bar, so I understand. But I only ever go to about 210. Or to be honest with you, 200 really. More so on the hunting rifles, because really I very rarely shoot more than 20 shots. Slightly different with the rifle down the range, obviously, as you can get carried away and blaze away and get through 100 shots or more easily. So when I take these two with me, down the range, I normally will either take my hand pump or take my cylinder with me, and will, if need be, charge them up. But certainly hunting rifle, never fill it anywhere near what it's capable of. My tank also can't, my air cylinder can rarely deliver more than 220 anyway, so the 300 bar fill on some rifles becomes neither here nor there really. So I always underfill them anyway. So the most this has ever sees is about 180 to 190 bar. Same with the Anschutz, and this is about 200. And like I say, with the framework barrel, I've not had any problems at all with point of impact shift at all. None. Not so far anyway. I've shot a good few tins of ammo through it now as well, this thing. Because I must admit, when I go down the range, I do get a bit carried away and just blaze away like no one's business with it. And it's, well, it's just really good. It's always been accurate, you know, it's always been a superbly accurate rifle. It just, it wasn't particularly comfortable with me, and I didn't think the scopes that I had on it before were doing it justice. But since I've put this IOR on it and given it a few tweaks in the setup with the stock, now it's an absolute joy to shoot it. And it's amazing what a difference it makes once you've got them tweaked up. And it's amazing also how long it can take to get it feeling right with these really adjustable stocks. Because if you get it wrong, they're worse than a wooden stock. Because a wooden stock tends to be made to be in the sort of middle ground, if you like. You know, they're fairly forgiving as regards their setups. Because they have to be, because they haven't got tons of adjustability. So if they made it really to suit each individual shooter, it would be impossible to sell them. So they make them sort of middle ground where they will fit comfortably the vast majority of shooters. But these guns, because they offer so much adjustability, it's amazing how once they're set up a certain way, they can be a bit uncomfortable for someone else. But once you've got them set up for yourself, they fit like a glove, and that's what I've done with this now. It's set up exactly as I like it. And with that scope on as well, I'm finding it's just a joy to shoot this thing. But it's took me a while to get it sorted. I admit, it wasn't an instant love rifle. It's took me time to get there with it, to get the settings right, to get the right scope, and to get the stock set up exactly as I like. Whereas the simplicity of the stock on the bench rest, this bench rest stock that I've got in the Anschutz, straight from the off, it's so easy to shoot with it. It's just it's just easy. And likewise with the R5M. Admittedly, it's a field rifle, but there's no adjustability again, but it's just set up to fit the majority of people. So that stock fits me really well. I find it very easy to shoot. Admittedly, it doesn't fit me as well as this stock, obviously, because this now, as it's tweaked to perfection to shoot, to fit the way I shoot and the way I hold the rifle, that is more comfortable and fits me better. But it's took me a long time to get there. So they do take a lot longer and a lot more messing about to get these fully adjustable stocks to fit you. Whereas a fairly basic wooden stock will fit just about everybody fairly comfortably. Maybe not perfectly, but certainly comfortably enough to use and become, happy with. So there you go. 3 stunningly beautiful rifles. Someone also commented on the Anschutz and said that they thought that was a different sort of trigger. The reason it's got a different trigger on the action of the Anschutz, it's a 9015 action, high power, which means that it's the just under 12 foot-pound version. It's about 11.7 foot-pounds, 11.5, something like that now as it's bedded in. The reason it's got that slightly different trigger on it was that when I bought this Anschutz, I bought the hunting version, which has the sort of skeletonized walnut stock and an aluminium and carbon fibre forend. And because it's the hunting version, it has a straight blade. Well, you can see it properly, the light's not brilliant, but it's got a straight blade trigger. It's got all the adjustments, just like the other one, but it's just a straight blade, and it's exactly the same action. The trigger's exactly the same, the internals of the trigger are exactly the same. It's just the blade has got a... the trigger blade is more suitable for hunting rather than the more target orientated one, which is somewhat similar to the Feynwood bout. So I hope that answers those questions that have cropped up over those. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And hopefully I'll be out with the bench rest rifle as soon as I can. Unfortunately, Wales has gone into lockdown, so the range is closed. It's shut till the 9th of November, I think. So you can still hunt, you can still do vermin control. So maybe I'll take it out and actually try and shoot some rabbits with it. At least to get it out and try it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.